Well, hello there, friends. This is the Rocky Mountain Crafter with you today. I'm making a Christmas card, and here I'm showing you paper that has a white interior to it. And I'm using this embossing folder by Nellie's Choice. This embossing folder is called Snowy Landscape, and it is a 3D embossing folder. And I'm putting that paper in there with the white inside. And I just get a water brush here to wet it down. The point of wetting it down is that it makes the paper a little bit more pliable once it goes through the Big Shot or whatever die cut machine you have. The water is just a little bit softer, and so it really gets into the nooks and crannies of those 3D embossing folders or any embossing folder. I actually use water now just when I'm using a regular embossing folder. I just find that it makes the paper way more pliable. It gets into those nooks and crannies, and it just makes for a more crisp image. And that's what I was going for here. Really crisp image of. I found that this embossing folder, although it's a 3D folder, the image is so fine on it. The details are so fine that I really wanted them to stand out. And so I'm just taking it out of the embossing folder here and making sure that the image is crisp and clean, which I'm happy with. And then I'm going to heat set it with my embossing heat tool. And I'm just going over it all over, kind of far away from it. I don't want to burn the paper. And I do the front and back. If the paper starts to curl, you can flip it over and do the back side and it will uncurl a little bit. And then I'm taking a sanding block here. I bought this sanding block just at the hardware store, but they do have them at crafty websites. I know that Simon Says Stamps for sure carries them. I'm just trying to get some of the bending or some of the water bends that were left in there out. The heat tool didn't quite take them all out. And so here I just start sanding down, and what's happening here is that because the interior of this paper is white, it shows through when you sand it on all of the raised parts. So here I'm focusing on the trees and on the moon, and then I go back and I do the stars. And I'm just getting it until I'm happy. And to me that looks good. Then I take some of my Catherine Pooler inks. Here I have Spruce and Deck the Halls. And I'm just going to pick those colors up with the lids. So if you push on the lids a little bit, you see the lids right now don't have any color on them. So right now I'm just giving a little push on the lid, and it picks up some of that color right onto the lid. And then I can use either a watercolor brush to dip into that, or in this case, I'm going to use a Tombow. So a Tombow marker that I'm using is water-based. It's called number 00. And I just use that to pick up some of this color off of the lid, and I start to go into the green trees. And I do the green trees just a little bit on where they are white, where the sanding has taken the paper off of the white interior of the paper. So now the white is exposed, and I'm just picking up those two different hues of green with the Tombow and coloring the white parts. And it gives the trees just a little tiny bit of green hue to them. And it's incredibly boring to watch me color, so I fast forward this part here fairly soon. I show you a couple of them doing them. And I really like this embossing folder. This is the only one that I have by this company. I ordered it from Simon Says Stamp. Again, it's Nellie's Choice, and there's a website, www.nellieschoice.com. And she has some beautiful embossing folders. One of them here that I see on the back of the package of this embossing folder is Poinsettias, and the Poinsettias is a 3D. It's model number. I don't know if you order by model number. I've never been to the website. But if you were searching for the Poinsettias, it's EF3D034. It's beautiful. So maybe I need to get that soon because it's gorgeous. Well, I wonder at what point I forwarded the video here, because this is like watching paint dry. I don't like watching paint dry. It's incredibly boring. Yeah, all right. So here's the fast forwarded part. And after doing all the trees, and I'm just trying to do some of the trees in Deck the Halls, the darker color of green, and some of the trees in spruce, just so that you have variation of color and it doesn't look so monochromatic, I guess, in a way. And then once I'm done that, I go into the moon. I get out Tiara, which is a yellow hue by Catherine Pooler, and I do the same thing on the lid. Pick some up with the lid and just go into it with the Tombow and just giving that moon just a little bit of yellow color. And we just had our Thanksgiving here in Canada. I love the American Thanksgiving though. You know why? Because Black Friday is right around the corner from that. I'm an online shopper. Oh, and Cyber Monday. Whew. Oh boy, don't get me started. Wonder what crafty deals there will be. Anyways, I'm just going over the stars here with my Jelly Roll pen. Now, Jelly Rolls just have a very fine sparkle in a ballpoint pen. This one here is XPGB number 700. And I don't see a color name. I'm sure it has a color name. But I don't see it here on the actual pen itself, unless Sakura's it, but I have a feeling that's the maker. And so I'm picking out dies here that say Merry Christmas in a scripty kind of font. And I'm pulling out my Sizzix Sidekick and just getting them lined up on a piece of paper. I love this little Sidekick. It is so fabulous just to keep on my desktop. My desktop is just a folding table. That's all it is. It's nothing fancy. But I like the size of my desktop. It's like 6 feet by 2.5 feet. And I'm not sure that buying a desk would be big enough for what I need. So I just have my folding table here, and I keep that, I keep a lot of my tools right around me. Like I have some, you know, tool holders. Anyways, I've really been enjoying this Sizzix Sidekick, this little guy. And so I did 2 layers of white for the scripty Merry Christmas. And here I'm doing, I think it's brass that I do. It's not gold, it's brass. Pretty sure of it. And it just gives the card an elegant look. It's very elegant when it's done. And I that seems to be my style of cards. I either like elegant or cute. Now I am in love with this glue sponge. This here is from Simon Says Stamp as well. So a lot of people, I could see how they wouldn't like it because of a mess, and you just have to get used to it. So I always store it upside down. And then what I'm doing here is I'm dipping the top of my bottom layer. So this is my bottom layer of my Merry Christmas. Remember, I have 3 layers here. So I'm dipping the top of that Merry. And then I just put the other Merry right on top of it, because this bottom layer Merry has glue right on the top of the layer. And I do that for all of the layers until I have the 3 layers put together, 2 in white and 1 in, what did I say it was? Copper? Pretty sure that's what it is. And you can see my tittles are up there right above that top word Christmas. See how there's 2 Christmases? Right above that is my tittles. So don't forget about your tittles over the eye, the little dot over the eye. That's a tittle. So I have them set aside there. I did not lose them. I actually have some dies that has the tittle built right into it, like it's attached so it can't get lost. I love those, but this was not one of them. Another thing too is that the season's greetings would have gone nicely on this card as well, but I always seem to have somebody in mind who I'm making cards for. And in this case, they do celebrate Christmas, so I was okay with doing Merry Christmas. But that's the nice thing about this embossing folder is that it's good for any time of year. It doesn't have to be a seasonal card. It doesn't necessarily show anything towards Christmas. It's snow, yes, but there again, that's where season's greetings would come in. And it may not even be snow. I looked at it as snow, but it could be stars. Maybe it's stars. I don't know. I thought it was snow. But yeah, with the moon there, it very well could be stars. So you could like do anything on this card. You could do a thinking of you card. You could do a happy camping card, or like so many things. Happy birthday. So many different things on this embossing folder. It really is very versatile. Now, you saw me there with that glue. Well, first of all, here, I'm putting the Merry Christmas on, and I'm trying to figure out which way do I want it. Do I want it long ways this way, or do I want it short ways this way? So what I finally decide on is long ways, because there is enough real estate on this card to afford to have it the long way. And I just thought it brings out more of that sky and more of the length of the card. I just liked it better. It's more balanced to me. So here I'm pulling out the glue again. Now, something else about this glue is that when I store it, I always make sure the lid is on tight. And sometimes I'll put the lid on and then I'll go back and release all the air from under it because I don't want to dry it out. And I always put it upside down. And that way the glue goes onto the lid, and then I can afford to do that. There's enough glue on the lid that I can afford to do it the way that you saw me do it. And here I'm just using, what is that? Oops, dropped something. I'm using my Zig glue. Now I am out of this Zig glue. I really had to work it to get this out. And it's the Zig glue pen. I love these. So it's actually like a ballpoint pen. Yeah, I just ordered another one on Amazon, but they have them at all your crafty stores. So then I decide to do a fancy layer here, and this is what makes the card elegant, is putting this copper layer behind it. And so I'm just squaring it up on this copper layer. I bought my Zig glue at Michael's, but like I said, you could get it at Amazon. I just reordered some on Amazon because I don't get to, we live in a very rural town. We don't get to the big city much. There is no Michael's here. Wah! But my Zig glue is on the way from Amazon. So there's that. Thank goodness for Amazon. And so I'm just laying this down, making sure that it's all even all around everywhere. Oh, look at that elegance. Oh, that's gorgeous. Just beautiful. That makes my heart melt. I love it. Love, love, love it. Okay, so then I was trying to decide here, should I do black? Should I do white? Should I do black and white? What should I do here? So what do you guys think won? White? Did white win? What's your favorite? You can put in the comments what your favorite was. The winner was black. I just thought that with the darkness of the card, whether it be snowy sky or starry sky, I wasn't sure that the darkness of it, like it's definitely a nighttime look with the moon out. So I wanted to stick with the black for that reason. And off camera, I go and I grab my scoring tool. Now, my scoring tool is this all-in-one tool by Memory Keepers. This thing is the bomb. I think I've showed you guys this before. If you've seen any of my videos, you've seen me use this. You've seen me talk about it. So all I'm doing here is lining it up. That teal part there has like a bumper stopper that I can flip. I can flip that teal part and the bumper stopper will go away so that I can cut. But in this case here, I have it flipped so that the bumper stopper's there. And I'm just finding the right line here to score it. And this is like, it's called the all-in-one tool for a reason. Again, that's by We Are Memory Keepers. If you want to go and check those out, you can probably find them online. Where did I get mine? Amazon. I love Amazon. Is it Cyber Monday yet? Okay. So here I am just putting a crease in that with my bone folder. Now I do have an actual bone folder. I think it's actually bone too, but they say with the bone or the Teflon ones that you don't get that line. Now, once I put the card front on, that line's not very noticeable, and it actually, I didn't even notice it till I was watching the show here, watching the playback. But yeah, so a Teflon or bone folder will work better to not leave any marks on your cardstock. So here I'm just going to put the card front on. Look at that beautiful, elegant card. So pretty. So, so pretty. All right. That must have been an incredibly boring part because I sped it up too. Now, I don't know what happened here, but this one side seemed longer than all the rest, so I just took it over to my guillotine paper cutter and I chopped it off. And there you have the final card. So I'm trying to get video here of the stars and the sparkle, which you cannot see at all. Disappointing, but in real life you can, of course. But it looks fantastic. And my trees are green, and it's just an elegant, beautiful card. Anyways, if you guys like what you see here and you want to follow more of my videos, please hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. I would greatly appreciate it. In the meantime, can't wait to see you guys or be with you guys next time. Take care.